So today is day one only. So today we'll see about what cloud computing actually is.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Suppose if you have an application, I'm asking you this question because since you're already a developer, so suppose you have an application, you have written the code. Okay. Now you want to deploy. How will you do that?
We have DevOps like previously TFS, right? Now we have DFS, I mean, sorry, DevOps server. So there,
Hmm.
we'll try to pull the code from the server. I'm
Hmm.
just like repository. Uh, so from that we will pull the code and pull the means, get the latest version of the code, and once we have modified the changes, we will do checkout, check in. So I think that those changes will be so, moved to
So the,
a server. I mean, based on the staging environment or QA and production. So once it is done, we will move the changes to, like, we have pipelines. I mean, I didn't write it, but already they have written. So we will go and run it. A pipeline, and it will try to build the application and deploy the
okay.
application.
So there is a separate team for the pipeline creation, right?
Correct, correct.
It's like whenever you have pushed the code, you will ask the DevOps team that the code is in place. Please create the pipeline, either manually trigger it or automate it. And you will provide them the variables name, correct? If there are any changes.
Right, right, right.
Hmm. So this is the last stage where any DevOps engineer wants to reach.
Mm,
Okay,
right.
like to how to create pipelines and all. So now let's start from the very beginning. Like traditionally, when like say 15 years ago, 20 years ago,
Mm,
what used to happen is that if you have an application ready, the code is there. And if you want to deploy, you need to have an infrastructure where
okay.
it's going to run. Like suppose even right now, when the pipeline is created, you are going to run that application, run that code. That code has to run somewhere,
Right,
correct? Like at the end of the day, there is some server which is hosting that application, correct?
right.
So there are various ways to decide what and who is going to take care of that server.
Mm, right.
Okay, suppose if you are starting a company, okay, so what you will do is you will buy a place or rent a place, you will buy servers, you will set up the entire network connections, then you are going to find a way to keep the electricity up so that all the servers are up and running. You will have to pay for the cooling. Okay. So usually what used to happen in the early days when cloud service providers were not there, you have to basically maintain your own infrastructure where your code is going to run.
Right, right. Exactly.
Any case of any traffic increment happening or anything, you have to, if suppose if you are saying that, okay, earlier, last year I used to have 10,000 customers, now I have 20,000. So you
Mm,
have to buy more servers, you have to buy more database, you have to buy a bigger router to handle that connectivity. Okay,
right.
so that became a hassle.
Correct.
Okay, and suppose like God forbid, if suppose if the company went down or for some reason, or if in a particular year the the amount of traffic gets reduced, in that case you are paying more than you are earning in that situation, right? So
Right.
and now since you have already bought the server, if you say that okay, I'll sell it back, the price at which you bought it, you won't be able to sell it, correct?
Mm, mm,
So
mm.
it became quite a bit of a hassle. Here comes our cloud service providers. So
Right.
what cloud is basically is that you have your application, it is hosted. Instead of you taking care of the infra or you are taking care of your code, there is going to be someone else who says, just tell me what you need, okay, and I'll provide it.
Right.
Okay, it's basically like saying that there is someone else who has an infra, you are just renting it. Okay, and however much space you want, you just pay for that. If suppose any month you say that I don't want to use this, they won't provide, you don't have to pay. If certain time you say that I want to increase my server count, you just have to pay for the extra and they will provide. So it became like money wise, it became really flexible. And plus, you don't have the hassle of, okay, electricity bill I have to pay. I have to make sure my coolers are working properly. All those things were gone. You just tell the cloud provider what you want and they will provide.
Yes.
Okay. So now let me try to share my screen. Just let me know when it's visible.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Now, yeah, it's visible.
So this is your basic crux of what cloud computing architecture is.
Mm,
Okay, suppose if you have like suppose there is an ATM. Okay,
mm,
let's take a live example. There is a ATM in your area.
okay.
Okay, there is a lot of time, like you might have seen that you went there and they said money is not there, or sometimes network is not there, or for some reason there is some error is happening because of which you can't take the money out. Has it ever happened?
Yeah, yeah, so many times.
Now, suppose if some like if you went there and that issue happened and you suppose you did a complaint.
Right.
Okay, that this is happening for so long, fix it. Now, someone will come from the bank to that infrastructure and see that what's wrong and will try to fix it, whether it's the any problem in the code or whether it's a hardware issue.
Mm,
They will have to fix it from there, right?
correct.
Now, suppose if there is a vendor who says that I will host your application, okay, you can access it from anywhere across the world.
Mm,
You don't have to bother about the infra at all.
mm,
Okay. If suppose if you want to go, if you went to the ATM, there has to be someone who's going to come there manually and is going to fix it. But suppose if you are using UPI, okay, for certain time the connectivity is down, we don't have to fix it, right? Someone else fixes it. And after
mm,
some time UPI is up and running.
mm,
Okay. And you don't have to change anything. How you are going to access it, that is also fixed.
okay.
Okay. So how it actually works. So suppose these are your tools. It could be your mobile, it could be your laptop, desktop, anything. Okay. You are going to be the end user. Most
Right.
important thing about cloud computing is that you have to understand the perspective. Okay. There are going to be times when we are going to be discussing from the end user perspective. And
Mm,
there are going to be times when we are talking about from the person who's hosting the application.
mm,
Okay. So we'll go back and forth.
okay.
Suppose you have Gmail.
Mm,
Okay. You open your Gmail, be it in your laptop or be in your phone. Okay, there could be like 10 GB data or 5 GB data, something like that, right?
right.
Does it consume 5 GB data of your phone?
Mm,
No, right?
no, I usually no. Yeah.
It doesn't consume. Whenever you open the application,
Mm,
okay, you will get your mails,
mm,
correct? So what happens is Google says that this is my application,
mm,
use it as it is.
mm,
Okay, you can just simply access it. You don't have to host anything, you don't have to worry about your space.
mm,
Okay, for example, like IPL is going on, the match is going on. Okay, or if you are playing any video games. Okay, until unless we have installed something on our laptop, there are games which we play online. There
right,
is no memory consumption on our system, right?
right, right, correct.
So there is someone else, okay, who's taking care of the storage, who's taking care of
Mm,
your application, who's taking care of your entire software.
right,
Okay, you just have to access it. Okay, if
right.
suppose if I'm using Netflix, okay, Netflix
Mm,
is a the entire infrastructure of Netflix is handled by AWS. Okay.
Yes, AW.
If the UI change happens, there is a coder developer who's going to make the changes, push it.
Hmm.
Okay. As the end user, we just have to access Amazon Prime, or we just have to access Netflix. Okay. The entire headache of the infra is on AWS, and the code part is going to be handled by the Netflix team or the Amazon team. Okay. Now, from our let's switch the side. We are no longer the customer. Now, think from the perspective of the developer.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, you want to host an application and you want the entire world to access it.
Hmm.
Now, if you say that, okay, I will create an infrastructure in Mumbai, I'll create one in Europe, I'll create one in Africa. Okay.
Hmm.
How much amount of money you will have to pay? Humongous. Instead of that, what I'll do is I'll take care of the code. I'll take care of whatever is required from my side, and the rest, the infrastructure,
Hmm.
the storage, everything will be handled by the Azure side. If any issue happens, Azure is responsible.
Right.
Okay. So now suppose look at this picture first. These are your end users. Suppose there's a laptop, your phone, or a number
Hmm.
of desktops are there.
Hmm.
Okay. Through your router or through your switch, you went to the internet.
Hmm.
Over the internet, you can access servers,
Virtual desktop.
you
Yeah.
can access virtual desktop, you can access your software platform or application, or any data that you want to pull, you can do. Like
Hmm.
Google Drive is there. It's a
Hmm.
completely storage thing. Okay,
Hmm.
if you suppose if you pushed a movie there, if you want
Hmm.
to watch a movie, you can directly open your drive and watch it. If you want to download it, that also you can do.
Hmm.
Now, are you like once you push the code on say Google Drive, are you dependent on a phone or a laptop?
No, no, we are not depending on that.
You can open it from anywhere.
Right.
Correct. That is the best thing about your cloud infrastructures. You
Hmm.
can make it accessible from anywhere.
Anyway, right.
Okay, so I'll give you an examples of how your cloud computing actually, what are the benefits of cloud computing over hosting your own infrastructures.
Right.
Okay. Uh, First is your resource pooling.
Right.
Okay. You have heard the word carpooling?
Yeah. Yeah, we can. Yeah, now I use blah blah. It's carpool.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It's similar. Resource pooling. What resource pooling is that there is something that we'll discuss that is called as our virtualization. Okay,
Hmm.
so there is one infra, or you can say there is one data center, okay,
Yes.
which is going to be shared by multiple people.
Right. Yes.
Okay, there is one machine on which I'll host different operating systems, and on those operating system, I'll run my different applications.
Right. Hmm.
Okay, this becomes super easy because, and this actually is what Azure does.
Hmm.
Okay, we usually think that most of the time when we'll move ahead, okay, you might think that, okay, we have containerization, we
Hmm.
have software virtualization. Why do we need hardware virtualization?
Hmm.
Okay, if software like if Dockers and Kubernetes is so easy and like less space consuming, then why and who actually uses hardware virtualization?
Hmm.
Answer is the cloud service provider uses it.
Okay.
Okay, they will have a rack that has say uh, 2 TB RAM or something like that. Okay,
Hmm.
2 TB RAM and some 10 or 100 TB, they have secondary memory. Now, if someone says that, okay, I need a virtual machine of 5G,
Okay.
okay, they will create it on that.
Hmm.
Someone comes and says, I need something of 10 GB. As long as that 2 TB space is consumed or 1 TB is consumed, they can keep making virtual machines there.
Yes.
Okay, one will create the virtual machine. I'll show you how that template actually works. Okay, so there is one hardware machine over which you are creating multiple resources. You don't have to worry about it. It will just happen.